good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tuning in from. And welcome back to another episode
of Satoshi Analysis. I'm Zohair.
I'm Kevin.
We're your Satoshi Ninjas.
And we're here to break it down for you. I know, it's been a while, but excuse us for the hiatus. 2018 was a really emotional year, but we're back.
We're going to try to be more consistent. We're trying something new today, and we're going to it's a new concept. So tell us what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear your opinions on this new focus that we're trying to do. Basically, what we're doing is doing a new set of intro videos. We have a lot of people entering the crypto space.
Go on.
And with them coming into the crypto space, like, we're getting questions that we normally would have assumed that you guys already knew the answers to. But with mass adoption and this ETF hopefully coming soon, we're seeing more and more questions coming up in regard to what is cryptocurrencies, what is Bitcoin. So as our first video, we're going to start off with the OG, the original King Bitcoin. So you want to start it off, Kevin?
I guess so. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash. What that means is it is decentralized. It is not printable.
Yeah.
There's a finite amount.
A cap supply of 21 million. But yeah, so we're sticking with Bitcoin.
We're sticking with simple what Bitcoin is. Governments were trying to make electronic cash before, but they all failed prior to Bitcoin because they were all centralized versions which they wanted to print and didn't really work out.
The other thing that also allows Bitcoin to succeed over these previous coins was the fact that it had a public ledger. And what a public ledger, it's like a bank account basically that shows every transaction that occurs with Bitcoin. And what that allows is all the transactions being public, meaning that there is complete transparency when transactions are sent. There is less.
No one can hide.
Yeah, fraud. If a fraud does occur, you'll see it right away. You'll see to whose account it goes to.
Although you may not know who's linked to that crypto account.
Mm-hmm. And the way this ledger works would be you have a bunch of miners that are solving these computer algorithms to verify these transactions. And when they verify these transactions, they're sharing that transaction across the network with tens of thousands of other miners. So all their public...
So basically, yeah, when you buy something, you like swipe your credit card, right? So that transaction needs to go onto the blockchain, all right? Mm-hmm. So all those machines doing those little swiping things, pretend like those aren't controlled by Visa or MasterCard or any other shop for that matter. And that transaction gets recorded on that. Those are recorded onto Visa's chain, if you will, if we're trying to like have you relate here. But a crypto Bitcoin transaction is going on the Bitcoin chain. And what's verifying that is a miner, which is basically a mini computer, which is just calculating hard equations that a human wouldn't be able to compute.
Yeah, it's solving quantum algorithms.
And all these machines need to have the same consensus. They all need to be in agreement with each other that, yes, transaction number 1322 actually happened, and it happened here at this time, so that it can be viewed on the public ledger, and everybody is around the world can come to a consensus.
And just to add to that with the Visa reference, so the only difference that you'd have between Visa and Bitcoin primarily is Visa, normally when you swipe your credit card, you have a middleman who handles the transaction fees. No, there's one before Visa actually normally. So like the gas station owner or whatever has a company he hires. And those companies are hired with Visa and MasterCard. So your transactions ends up going through like two different networks And then back to the person.
So you have to pay 2 people before you even pay Visa.
Yeah, so those fees add up. That's why you have places that have minimums for cards and stuff. With Bitcoin, though, what makes it different is rather than have a Visa or someone in the middle
chain,
you're having everyone, so all the card holders in this scenario would be verifying the transactions with everybody. So it's basically a community-driven effort, which allows it to be decentralized, which is where the word peer-to-peer network comes from.
Also, the transactions are irreversible, meaning you cannot have a return transaction. Or let's say right now with Visa, or if you get hacked with Chase, they'll give you back the money you were hacked, even though that wasn't the money that the hacker stole. Even the hacker wins. Pretty much everyone wins except you who lost your data and your money. You are getting your money back, though, but it's printed money, which technically inflates
That's
the
only
whole
if it's
supply.
Insured, might add. If it was insured, you get your money
Yeah,
back.
either way, you see how this is kind of sketchy, the whole way,
like
monetary.
There's a bunch of Bernie Madoff scam people who did not get their money back.
Yeah.
And they didn't print more for them. So, like, there's always the chance
And, just
fraud can occur, but this system reduces the amount that can occur. Now, Bitcoin, when people ask who created it, the one word that comes up is Satoshi Nakamoto.
Who we named our channel after.
Exactly. So, Satoshi Ninjas, Satoshi Analysis. So the thing with Satoshi Nakamoto is he's an unknown figure. No one knows what he looks like. No one even knows if it's he or a she.
Or a group.
Yeah, whether it's one person or a group of programmers that name themselves that. Some people say he's from Japan. Some people say there's a bunch of Stanford graduates. We don't know. But the other thing is, a lot of people also complain about is, hey, a Bitcoin's what, 3,000 right now?
36?
36, yeah. So Bitcoin's around 3,600. I can't afford one Bitcoin. Well, here's the thing. Bitcoin is divisible by 8 decimal places. So you could get a .000.
You can get a fraction.
Very small fraction. So you could get like pennies of a Bitcoin and you can purchase it. So just because you see a $3,000 price doesn't mean your barrier of entry is $3,000. You could invest.
Yeah, you can buy .00001 Bitcoin.
So let's move on, and actually in regards to that, where can a normal person, just an everyday person, purchase, sell, or even store Bitcoin?
Purchase or store?
We're going all three. Purchase, sell, store. So let's start with purchasing.
In America, there's centralized ways of buying it, and there's decentralized ways of buying it. Right now, if you wanted to buy it like with your bank account and a credit card, you would need to use a centralized exchange like Coinbase. The fiat gateways are what they're called pretty much, where you can take your paper, your dollars,
or euros, whatever.
Yeah, and change them into bits, literally Bitcoin. But as of right now, you kind of need that central third party to allow that exchange, which is Coinbase, Gemini, Crack for Americans. I think Binance now is also allowing credit cards. They're supposed to soon. But
just on a side note, I forgot to add this, but when we talked about the 8 decimal places for Bitcoin, those units are also called Satoshis. So that's why we call it Satoshi Analysis
right,
as well.
Right. So for dollars, you have cents.
Mm-hmm. For cryptos, you have Satoshis.
Yeah. For Bitcoin.
Bitcoin primarily, but like majority of coins have kind of adopted that kind of phrase.
The Bitcoin standard.
Whenever it's a decimal place, it's a Satoshi. So now there's also a local option to buy Bitcoin,
which are decentralized. It's more just literally a currency exchange without having to have the government know, I guess.
Or if like you just are big about the decentralized peer-to-peer aspect of it, you could also use this route. I believe local Bitcoins is like a Craigslist that you've used it.
It is unregulated, so you do have to watch out. Like if you are trying to hit up someone on local Bitcoins to exchange $20,000 cash into Bitcoin, that just
use common sense.
yeah, just maybe try like $200, see
Not
how
like
that
100 actually.
Yeah, just try Coinbase first. How about that? Or I think Abra also offers it now.
No, if you're completely don't want to go through the hassle of going through this way, it'll cost you a teensy bit more. You can also use Bitcoin ATMs. They're getting more and more popular. One of the biggest companies is actually from Chicago, where we're located at. So we're seeing them more and more, even all across the city, even in like suburban areas. So that's also a big thing. But you also have bigger options available too, which is what I'd call the mainstream routes. One of them being Square Cash and Robinhood. Those now have cryptos in them. So you can actually, Robinhood especially has a big amount of crypto selection compared to Square Cash. Square Cash being only Bitcoin. And in the future, they're also going to be an ETF, and that will be a way that you could also invest into Bitcoin. And
yeah, that's a more centralized route, as in you. The thing is,
we've given you a past, present, and future here.
Yeah,
the thing is, like, technically, you would want to hold your coin yourself without having a third party take custody of it, because you're just giving your cash. Would you just give $50,000 in cash for someone to hold for you? First of all.
No, that's actually a good thing, because that segues into the storage aspect. So all these options like exchanges, you can actually store yours. Everything else we reference, except for Square Cash and Robinhood, you can store it, but everything else is just a purchase mechanism. But one of the things that we at the Satoshi Ninjas recommend big time is cold storage. What is cold storage? Cold storage is just like a USB device that you keep at home or wherever it's safe.
Offline storage.
Yeah, it's offline. So whatever your money is, it cannot be hacked when it is in cold storage. It has to be connected to the internet. And the only time you'll connect it to the internet is when you're trying to send some money.
And before you connect it to the internet, you need to put in a long, like, 12-digit password.
Yeah, so there's like secure passwords with it that come with it. One we recommend highly is the Ledger Nano S.
I think they have a new one now, an X.
I'd still get the S, because the S works just as well, and it's probably cheaper now because of that. So
yeah, it's probably less hackable as well. Probably.
Yeah, just save some money. They do a pretty good job of updating. I updated mine recently.
Ledger is a great company. I haven't tried any of the other
Trezor
hardware wallets.
Trezor's a big one. I know that.
Yeah.
The other thing is, when you get these wallets, there's such things called a public and private key. And people are always confused as like, what is a public key? What is a private key? So we'll just tell you in the easiest way possible. A public key is a key you give to somebody to receive money. So if someone's trying to send you some Bitcoin, you give them your public key. Your private key is
your screen name, if you will.
Yeah. So your private key, though, is your master lock. Your private key you keep for yourself. If you ever lose your wallet, you could use that key to recover it. And it also allows you to send money. So never give
so is that a recovery backup keys? Or
no, you know different. How you have like with the ledger, the phrases and everything to back it up in case your ledger ever
but
gets
that's not the key
destroyed.
Though. That's the backup. The key is what you put in to unlock your hardware.
Your signature would be your hardware. Your hardware acts as a signature. The wallet
once it's unlocked.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
With the code you make up for it.
Now, if you lose it, or let's say it breaks, that's where these things come in handy. They'll have a phrase and recovery options as well. So even if someone decided to take a hammer and destroy it, just keep those passphrases safe. Okay. And I think that's all we have for this video.
For today's episode.
We just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate your guys' patience with us.
Yeah.
Please make sure you're following us on Instagram, because we haven't stopped there and we're not going to stop.
And we're going to do more videos on similar things like this. So stay tuned for Bcash, EOS, Ethereum, Ripple, Tron.
What
Neo.
else?
We're gonna try to go down the list from
Quado.
Yeah.
Neo, Quado,
It's cute,
Arc.
right?
Some Arc. What else do we got?
There's a bunch, man. Stellar Lumen.
Dentacoin. You know I'm gonna have to talk about Dentacoin.
Lately I've been on Zcoin, but like that's for another day.
Yeah, Monero, of course, Dash.
But like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. We are on social media. Our Instagram is popping, so follow us on there.
Before we leave, we have to do the bow.
Yeah,
which we totally forgot. So,
all right, guys.
Peace out, my ninjas. See y'all on the next episode.
Ninjas out.
This is my culture. I do what